Welcome, we are back with a brand new series of Zero to Hero. It's a new season, which means a ton of fresh new content, new raid, more delves, and even a whole new area. But let's be real, the only thing we care about is the dungeons. This season, we've got 7 returning dungeons, and a brand new one called Operation Floodgates. This will be my first time experiencing all of them. So, it's going to be interesting. We're kicking off this season playing Vengence Demon Hunter. If you're a returning viewer, you already know DH is my main. And now that it's back on top, I want to start this season off feeling comfortable. But after this, you guys can pick any class for me to play. Hell, I was even thinking about trying DPS this season. I really want to know if it's easy as people say, but with my limited DPS experience, I'm sure I'll be humbled very quickly. Let's lay down some ground rules. This is a solo challenge. No hitting up my friends to bail me out with some heals. Just like Jason Derulo, I'll be riding it solo. No showing my Raider IO stats. For some reason, mine is still showing from the previous season. I tried to disable it, but it just won't go away. But let's be honest, a lot of people inflated their IO score on the last week of season 1. Naughty. No gold transfers. No sending myself a stack of cash from my alts. I already had a bunch of gold from the last season, so I'll just be sticking with this. Now that's all out the way, let's kick things off with the Motherlode. A lot of you probably know this well, but there's also a handful of people like myself who have no clue what the hell is going on. But now I'm sitting here editing, can actually see what's happening, and I get why it's called the Motherlode, because there's a motherlode of accidental pulls. Almost every pack had some mob inviting their friends over. Like, I get it, you see the disco dance floor and think it's a party, but it's not. Then there's the Peacekeeper, a mob who does not live up to his name. This guy wreaks havoc. He fires off a big green swirl that you have to dodge, and every single time, expect more mobs to roll right in. Oh, and the Met Jockeys. These guys like to try and wake up more Peacekeepers, so make sure to CC them and interrupt them. Otherwise, you'll have a big problem on your hands.
Oh god.
The first boss of the dungeon is the coin-operated Crowd Plummeter, aka Mr. Make It Rain. This gold-hungry machine was a fun fight, but I had no idea what was going on. I thought walking over the gold would give me a little bit of extra cash, but sadly, it doesn't. The mechanics were pretty simple. Don't let him suck up the gold, boot the football into his head, or the soccer ball. For my American viewers out there, like and subscribe. Dodge the frontal and DPS him down, and you're bing chillin'. This dungeon is full of AoEs and swirls. Every pack has something trying to kill you. I, of course, was still pulling big and hoping for the best. You know our motto around here, go big or go home.
Go big or go home, baby. That's what I've always said. Go big or go home. And we're going home.
We did in fact not go home. We survived that pull and moved on to the next. These mobs have another cast you need to interrupt. If not, it will put out big damage and make everyone super slow. So save all your CCs for these dudes.
It's a boss. What? Wait, I'm confused.
Turns out this was a boss. This was a 2, so honestly, we took the down. This was a 2, so honestly, we took the boss down pretty fast. But from what it seems, all this boss does is cast the frontal, slam the ground, dealing group-wide damage, and then spawn some ads. He also starts to suck one off at some point. It must have been good, because this ad came back harder than ever.
What did he say?
The route this dungeon was pull everything. And you see, I wasted no time getting into the action. Go big or go home. The next boss was another super simple boss. Get in the safe area, and after that, she will mark someone. So bait the swirls near the gooey stuff. Once that's over, aim your leaf blower at the stuff, and rinse and repeat. I can already tell this final boss is going to be a pain in the ass. My main problem are the miss-alley shoots at the ranged DPS, which can be annoying because sometimes it will sync up with the swirls that come down. You also need to react so fast. I can see this boss wiping many groups on higher keys. Once you're getting down to half HP, it becomes immune and 2 ads will spawn. If you don't kill these quick, they will just gun everyone down. But But while all that is going on, the boss will use Drill Smash on a random player, and you will need to bait this into one of the posts. After smashing all 3 posts, the boss will just repeat the same moves he did in phase 1.
Pumping, boys.
Our first dungeon down, and we got no loot. The same group wanted to do a forfeiter of pain, so let's dive right into that. So I've just been using Yoda TV's Mythic dungeon tools, mainly because I have no idea what the hell I'm doing. Routes at this point in the season is always a bit shaky. In a few weeks there will be more routes, but for now we're just going to stick to the main man himself, Yoda TV's routes. The first boss fight was hectic as hell. Each mini boss had different abilities, but overall the strat was pretty simple. Dodge frontals, avoid the swirls, and pop defensives, and hope you don't die. The Mythic dungeon tool was also a pain in the ass to navigate, and every corridor had a goddamn mini boss in it. But hey, they were actually pretty fun. One of them throws a rotating sword, which, by the way, I didn't even notice until they were slicing me up for a good 3 seconds straight.
Am I studying something?
The second boss was Zav. This man doesn't let up with his mechanics. He's throwing out back-to-back frontals, smashing up half the arena, and when he's not doing that, he's throwing people into a Marghara. Like, bro, I need them. They're my DPS. But at least when they come back, the winner gets a damage buff.
Oh, you just brute?
But the loser, on the other hand, gets hit with a fat debuff. So DPS, this is your chance to show off your skills. I was feeling confident after that boss and decided to go big. But these fuckers just kept hopping away. Gorechop was the next boss on the list, aka the chain guy. I really like the chains that come down. They're not too fast, so they're easy to dodge, but it adds a lot of variety to the fight. I sometimes don't enjoy bosses where all I'm doing is standing in one spot the whole duration of the fight. He also spawns ads, but I mean, what boss doesn't spawn ads? They don't do much, just be careful because when they die, they leave a nasty pool on the floor. The chain always seems to come from one direction, so sticking to around the middle of the room seems to be the best option.
Oh, probably should not have pulled this whole room.
I messed up big time pulling these extra mobs. Turns out we didn't need him because we was already at max percent. This paladin kind of threw me off, giving me false information, or I just didn't understand what the hell he was talking about. Because the paladin told me not to move, I took it literal and didn't move whatsoever. And it turns out the frontal doesn't even aim at me, so I have no idea what the hell he was talking about. Also, some grabby hands came out and touched me up without any consent.
Oh shit.
Phase 2 starts, you got hands coming out the ground, a bunch of ghosts on horses charging at you, and the next minute you're being pulled in, ads are spawning, and on top of that there's a goddamn tank buster that knocks you out cold.
Save me.
So yeah, we wiped.
Damn.
On the next run, I somewhat figured out the boss. I was moving freely and figured out if we stack pretty close, I can use my chains to easily group up the ads. We managed not to die and finished the dungeon off. We failed the key, but we did get a ring. We ran some more 2s just to get used to our class, but the dungeons were pretty boring. We did, however, fail the fuck out of Operation Floodgates. This one boss was insane. Our healer dropped early on in the fight, so we wiped, but we had lost for the second try, and right away our healer and DPS got into a tug of war match. I found that the best way to do this fight is to all move left, but because none of us knew that, I was just following the person I was attached to. But you can tell my partner has never played Frogger before because he was getting hit by every single goddamn
This guy
wave.
is horrible pathing, like, look at him. Jesus, the man got hit by like every single one.
The final boss was amazing, but I was confused as hell by them sparks. I thought I had to pick it up, but turns out you just gotta pop it into one of the puddles. Gigazap was also messing up my DPS, so we ended up wiping.
What the fuck?
But we figured out what to do on the very next run. When the spark spawns, you need to bait it into an unelectrified puddle. That was the only mechanic I had problems with, so we finished off this dungeon. We failed it, but we did get a wrist upgrade. We didn't slow down and jumped straight in to a 4 Cinderbrew. Threat was a bit of an issue on these starter pulls. Now that I'm using a new talent build, I don't have enough abilities to generate threat. I ended up figuring out a better way to handle this pack, but we'll get to that in another video. The first boss is going to be a pug killer. Once he starts phase 2, everyone just blows the hell up. I have figured out a path for us to drop 2 bear bottles off, which helps our team out a lot. We ended up understanding the boss by the third phase, so we took it down on our first try. The packs leading up to the next boss are not too much of an issue. There is a few crucial interrupts you need to kick, such as Bestial Wrath and Honey Volley. I already know these abilities are going to be some big bug killers down the line. The B boss is mostly a control fight. Be sure to bait the swirls at the edge of the room when playing tank, and I think as a DPS, all you need to do is jump on the B and destroy the barrels. If you don't destroy the barrels, on the next set of ads, they would just double. But overall, I thought this boss fight was very easy. The next area, however, is intense as hell. I didn't think going into it would be much of a problem, but man, there's so much stuff you need to interrupt and dodge. These big boys also drop little bits of honey that I need to gain threat on, so this whole pull was a goddamn shit show. We did end up wiping, and I took it a little bit slower. I lied. I didn't take it slower. I went into that boss room and thought, fuck it, let's limit test, and pulled the entire thing. And it was going fine until my teammate aimed the mob across the room and he went storming in to a giant pack. I'll just let the rest play out from here.
Totem. 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 Charge. Totem. Totem. Charge.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Ah, shit. Here we go again.
Charge. Totem. Charge.
Yeah, that was mayhem. But like we say, go big or go home. The boss fight is pretty easy, just make sure the honey slimes don't reach the boss and you're pretty much golden. There's also a dot that the boss throws on people, so make sure to pop a defensive and pray your healer can bail you out. We finished off this dungeon with 6 minutes to spare and got ourselves a back upgrade.
Yes. Oh my god, that's a big upgrade.
Darkflame Cleft. The amount of random pulls that happen in the early packs was seriously giving me a brain aneurysm. This big fucker just kept knocking away my grouped up packs. It didn't help that once one of the mobs gets super low HP, he does a pirate software and runs away like a little bitch, which causes even more chaos. Did I mention I used to work at Blizzard? Ow, 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 ow.
Ale.
Only the
Ale.
strong.
For now though, the bosses seem pretty chill. It was only a 4, so a lot of the mechanics don't really hurt all that much. I can see this candle looking dude might be a little bit annoying, but it seemed my group understood what to do, so I let them do all the heavy lifting. This boss again felt more like a control fight. As long as you destroy the statues, nothing bad will happen. I know for sure though that you can clear multiple statues once you get this ring around you, so make sure when you create the wax figures to stand pretty close together. Now, let's get to the bit that you've all been waiting for. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on, one more. Oh! Almost. Trust me, I will win the next time. That was just a warm-up session. The final boss was a little bit intense. I didn't have a clue what the hell was going on. My teammate just kept grabbing the light and running off. I just let him do his thing while I slowly DPS down the boss. He just keeps running away. That guy was crazy, man. I kept running away with a goddamn bloody torch. We timed the key though and got a nice trinket. And this is what we're looking like. Let me know in the comments what your thoughts are on this season so far. Are you enjoying it? Are you hating it? Let me know. Also, if there's any tips that you can share, that would be great. And as always, if you like the content, subscribe. If you made it this far, we already know you like the content, so subscribe anyway. Like, comment, all of that good stuff. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.